So this just happened a few minutes ago, and it was a long time in the waiting. Many fans were wondering where Nike has been with any Caitlin Clark merchandise whatsoever. And now for the moment many people have been waiting for. Caitlin Clark has dropped her signature logo for her product line.
Sources inside Nike are saying they've never seen anything like this.
And here's what you got, folks. The CC, as it unveiled and Nike showed us, it showed us that they're prepared to pursue the billion-dollar revenue that Caitlin Clark is going to bring to Nike.
A simple t-shirt drop just broke every sales record they've ever set.
I can only imagine it's going to get sold out lickety-split. Caitlin Clark was first signed to Nike in April of 2024, so it took about a year and a half or so.
I'll give you the inside story on how this one piece of merchandise is projected to make Nike $1 billion a year. Can't find any real WNBA merchandise? Frustrated by the high prices on eBay? There's a reason for that. I'm going to take you behind the scenes of this launch, reveal the astonishing numbers, and show you how Caitlin Clark is not only a game changer, but a business breaker.
Bring you live on WNIK, and as usual, we're talking about Caitlin Clark.
So, this just happened a few minutes ago, and it was a long time in the waiting. Many fans were wondering where Nike has been with any Caitlin Clark merchandise whatsoever. And now for the moment many people have been waiting for. Caitlin Clark has dropped her signature logo for her product line. And here's what you got, folks. The CC as it unveiled and Nike showed us. It showed us that they're prepared to pursue the billion revenue that Caitlin Clark is going to bring to Nike.
This is interesting because when I looked at it, it had an international presence, the CC. And you look at it, are we talking about Coach? Are we talking about Louis Vuitton? Are we talking about Gucci? The CC is a global international brand that will don on top products all throughout the world.
Nike's website just crashed, and it's all Caitlin Clark's fault. This will go down in history as the day Nike servers couldn't handle Caitlin Clark. When that navy and yellow logo t-shirt dropped at exactly midnight, what happened next was unprecedented.
According to Nike, the shirt is available, but it's not available just yet.
We're talking website crashes, bot attacks, resellers making thousands in minutes, and sales numbers that make Jordan releases look slow. Today, we're breaking down how a simple $40 t-shirt became the most sought-after piece of sports merchandise in history, and why Nike executives are calling this their biggest launch ever. You're live with You Live on WNK, and as usual, we're talking about Caitlin Clark. Millions of fans are refreshing Nike.com. Fingers hovering over their keyboards, credit cards ready. The clock strikes midnight, and boom, the Caitlin Clark logo t-shirt goes live. Within seconds, and I mean literal seconds, Nike servers start smoking. I can only imagine it's going to get sold out lickety-split. Caitlin Clark was first signed to Nike in April of 2024, so it took about a year and a half or so. The website traffic spike was so intense that Nike's infrastructure, which handles billions in annual sales, completely collapsed. Error messages everywhere, people getting kicked out of checkout. The Nike app crashed simultaneously. IT departments at Nike headquarters were reportedly in full crisis mode. It features interlocking Cs. Her mark is emblematic of ever-expanding range on the court. Let me hit you with numbers that'll make your head explode. Sources inside Nike say that in the first minute, 60 seconds, they received over 10 million page views. That's more traffic than most websites get in a year. Within the first hour, before the site completely crashed, Nike reportedly processed over 500,000 orders. At $40 for adults and $35 for kids, we're talking $20 million in revenue in 1 hour. And that's just what got through before the crash.
It looks really unique, I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy all of it, it's like aura.
We love it! It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
Compare that to previous records. When LeBron's first Nike shoe dropped, it took a week to hit those numbers. When Jordan Retros release, they might sell 100,000 pairs in a day. Clark's t-shirt outsold signature shoes. While regular fans were struggling with crashed websites, professional resellers were having the night of their lives using sophisticated bots and multiple accounts. Some resellers reportedly secured hundreds of shirts.
Man, everybody sure does love Caitlin Clark. That logo's okay. I would buy one of her shirts. I don't care about Indiana Fever or the WNBA that much, nor do I watch games, but it's a pretty cool logo. What do you think?
Within minutes of the drop, these shirts were appearing on StockX, eBay, and GRA for $200, $300, even $500. That's a 1,250% markup. One reseller who goes by Sneaker King 23 allegedly made $50,000 profit in one night just from Clark shirts. The secondary market went insane. StockX reported more transactions in the first 24 hours for the Clark logo TE than any other non-shoe product in their history. We're talking more than Supreme drops, more than Travis Scott merch, more than anything. This wasn't just an American phenomenon. The world went crazy. When the shirts dropped in Europe at 6 a.m. local time, the same chaos repeated. Nike's European servers crashed again. In Asia, where Clark has a massive following, the situation was even more intense. Chinese resale platforms were listing the shirts for 3,000 yuan. That's over $400 US. Japanese fans were camping outside Nike stores in Tokyo, just hoping for a chance to buy one.
It looks really unique. I think it's very creative for Caitlin Clark to come up with something like this. And I just enjoy like all of it. It's like aura.
We love it!
It's simple, yet it speaks a lot.
I love it so much.
Australia, Canada, Mexico. Every market where Nike released the shirt saw instant sellouts. Nike's global logistics team was reportedly working 24/7 shifts just to handle the order volume. This is interesting because when I looked at it, it had an international presence, the CC. And you look at it, are we talking about Coach? Are we talking about Louis Vuitton? Are we talking about Gucci? The CC is a global international brand that will dawn on top products all throughout the world. Here's what Nike didn't expect. They thought they were prepared. Sources say Nike manufactured 2 million units for the initial drop. 2 million. That's more than they produced for most Jordan releases, but it wasn't nearly enough. Within 3 hours, every single shirt was gone. Nike's factories in Vietnam and Indonesia immediately went into overtime production. Workers were called in for emergency shifts. The company reportedly ordered another 5 million units for emergency production. Shipping companies were offered triple rates to prioritize Clark merchandise. FedEx and UPS trucks were being loaded with nothing but Clark shirts. It was absolute chaos in the supply chain. Inside Nike headquarters, executives were having emergency meetings at 3 a.m. The CEO was reportedly woken up and briefed on the situation. This wasn't just a successful product launch. This was a phenomenon that nobody predicted. The marketing team was scrambling to capitalize on the momentum. Social media managers were working around the clock responding to angry customers who couldn't get shirts. Customer service lines had 5-hour wait times. But here's the thing. Nike's stock price jumped 8% in pre-market trading the next day. Investors saw this chaos and thought, this is gold. Wall Street analysts were upgrading Nike's stock rating based on one t-shirt launch. Twitter, or X, whatever you call it, went nuclear. Number one worldwide. Not just in sports, not just in the US. Number one globally. It's special. I mean, there's very few people who get the opportunity to say that they have a logo and to make the impact that she makes, not just, I think, in the sport, but globally, just by being who she is. She's a connector. She brings people together. And, I think for us to be a part of that, and whether it's, as simple as being able to celebrate all of these things with her, or, as much as walking out into the arena and seeing the white out on the chairs out there, it's really cool. And it's really special too. And shoot, I'm talking about it right now and just feeling the intense gratitude for me personally being in women's basketball to be able to be a part of this moment and to celebrate with her. TikTok videos of people trying to buy the shirt got hundreds of millions of views. One video of a girl crying because she couldn't get one got 50 million views. Influencers were offering to pay $1,000 for a single shirt just to post about it. Instagram was flooded with goddamn posts from the lucky few who secured shirts. Celebrities were posting about trying and failing to get one. Drake reportedly had his team buy 100 shirts from resellers. While Nike was dealing with good problems, their competitors were in crisis mode. Adidas executives were reportedly having emergency meetings about how they missed out on Clark. Under Armour's stock dropped 3% the day of the launch. Reebok, who has Angel Reese, watched in horror as Clark's t-shirt was generating more buzz than entire shoe lines. Puma executives were allegedly demanding answers about why Breanna Stewart's merchandise wasn't moving like this. Every sports brand in the world was asking the same question. How did Nike do this with a t-shirt? The answer: they had Caitlin Clark. The celebrity reaction was insane. LeBron James posted a picture wearing the shirt with the caption, "Respect greatness." That post got 5 million likes in an hour. That's her logo, man. Signature reveal, man. Shout out to CC. You rolling with it. I'm rolling, bro. All right, man. What was this commercial? Taylor Swift was spotted at a Chiefs game wearing the Clark logo tee under a jacket. The Swifties and Clark fans united and nearly broke the internet. Searches for the shirt increased 2,000% after that sighting. Even Michael Jordan allegedly called Nike executives to congratulate them on the launch. When MJ is impressed by your merchandise sales, you know you've done something special. But wait, it gets better or worse, depending on if you're trying to buy. October 1st, when the full collection dropped, made September look like a warm-up. Nike had to implement a lottery system just to give people a chance to buy. They had to limit purchases to one item per customer. They had to ban IP addresses that were using bots. It was digital warfare. Let's talk money. Analysts estimate that Clark's logo collection generated over $500 million in revenue in its first month. That's not including resale. That's $500 million from t-shirts and hoodies. To put that in perspective, the entire WNBA's revenue in 2024 was around $200 million. Clark's merchandise made more than double what the entire league made. Nike's quarterly earnings report showed a 15% increase in revenue. An executive specifically cited the Clark collection as a major driver. One product line from one athlete moved the needle for a $150 billion company. This isn't just about sales. This is about a cultural moment. Women's sports merchandise outselling men's. Unheard of. A logo tee becoming more coveted than limited edition Jordans. Impossible until Caitlin Clark. Fashion magazines were writing about the shirt. Vogue, GQ, Hypebeast. Everyone was covering a sports t-shirt like it was high fashion. The Clark logo became a status symbol. High schools were seeing kids getting in fights over the shirts. Colleges were having black markets where students were trading shirts for concert tickets, PlayStations, even cars. This was bigger than merchandise. This was a movement. Every single market where Nike operates set records. In China, it became the fastest-selling Nike product ever. In Europe, it outsold soccer jerseys during World Cup years. Canada ran out of stock so fast that the Prime Minister's office allegedly called Nike to ensure more supply. In Australia, it became a national news story when the website crashed. Japan created a lottery system where people could win the chance to buy a shirt. South Korea had police managing crowds at Nike stores. This was global pandemonium. With demand this high, the fakes started flooding in. Within a week, counterfeit Clark shirts were everywhere. Street vendors in New York, online marketplaces, even some legitimate-looking websites. Nike had to launch an authentication program. They created special tags with QR codes. They hired additional security to patrol for fakes. The FBI's counterfeit goods division got involved. Customs agents were seizing containers full of fake Clark merchandise coming from overseas. It was estimated that for every real shirt sold, there were 3 fakes in circulation. The black market for Clark gear became a billion-dollar problem. Other WNBA players were watching this unfold in disbelief. Asia Wilson, who has her own Nike shoe, saw a t-shirt outsell her entire collection. Sabrina Ionescu's merchandise looked like it was standing still compared to Clark's. But here's the thing. Even Clark's opponents were buying the shirts. Players who competed against her were posting pictures wearing her logo. It transcended rivalry. This was about recognizing a cultural icon. Clark herself was reportedly shocked by the response. She posted a simple thank you on social media that got 10 million likes. She couldn't go anywhere without seeing someone wearing her logo. If a t-shirt caused this chaos, imagine what happens when the shoe drops in 2026. Nike executives are already planning for what they're calling the launch of the century. Industry insiders are predicting the Clark signature shoe will do $1 billion in sales in its first year. That would make it the most successful signature shoe launch in history. Jordan took years to hit those numbers. Nike is reportedly building additional server capacity just for the Clark shoe launch. They're hiring extra security for stores. They're already in talks with law enforcement about crowd control. This isn't a product launch anymore. It's a global event. Caitlin Clark didn't just break records. She shattered them, obliterated them, made them irrelevant. A simple logo on a t-shirt became the most sought-after piece of sports merchandise in history. Nike hit the jackpot with that $28 million deal. They're probably making that back every week. Clark proved that women's sports merchandise doesn't just compete with men's, it can dominate it. This day will forever be known as the day Caitlin Clark broke the internet, broke Nike, and broke every sales record in sports merchandise history. And the crazy part, this is just the beginning. Did you get a Clark logo shirt, or are you still hunting? Drop your story in the comments and subscribe for more insane sports business breakdowns.